Hello folks, I hope that you guys are just having a safe and day today and a fun, awesome day today, and keep yourself safe in our modern COVID world. Today I want to take a look at Phillip K Dick, and we're going to take a look at Minority Report, one of his short stories. I recently picked up a collection of his short stories, and I'm going to be going through it. I've already read 6 short stories, and we've been reviewing 4 of them right now in this sitting. And then what I'm going to do is I'm publishing this Minority Report on a Thursday for you, and then I'm going to take the next few Thursdays and dedicate them each to Phillip K Dick. He's a prolific writer. I've read some of his things in the past. I've got a couple of his things that are in my my queue that I've picked up. I really want to read his novel, Do Androids Dream of Electric Sheep? It's in my sort of my bucket list. So I'll be reading that hopefully over the next few weeks. My goal is to this collection of short stories that he's written in the 40s and 50s and 60s. And give you some of my favorites. And I'm going to start with 4 short stories that influenced 4 films that they are based on. And those films are today's Minority Report. The next one we're going to do for you is Total Recall's We Can Remember It For You Wholesale, the Adjustment Bureau's Adjustment Group, Adjustment Firm rather, and then finally Imposter's Imposter, starring Gary Sinise. So I'll take a look at those 4 short stories. Those are going to be the first 4 that I'm going to do for you, and then by then I'll finish the collection and I'll record other short stories in the meantime that have inspired me. But those are the 4 that I'm starting with because those are the 4 whose work I'm familiar with. So we're going to start with Minority Report tonight. Minority Report is the longest short story I've read so far. It's like 35 pages long, and this collection is oversized. It's not like a little short novel-sized thing, so it probably took me like an hour to read to knock it out. So if you buy this collection, and I'll link you this collection below in case you want to pick it up, so you can pick up and read along with me in this collection as well. But basically, what's going to happen in Minority Report, and this is the film is very loosely based on it. It goes into some very different directions and so forth. But you're going to be opening up with a gentleman named Anderton, who is older than the character Tom Cruise in the film. He is near retirement age, and it's coming up soon. And he is the one who has founded the PreCrime Bureau with the precogs. He has founded that himself, not somebody else who's older than him, like in the movies. But he's the one who's founded it, and there's this gentleman who's been sent over and over to his police agency, and he's learning about pre-crime and appreciates it, and is probably his next person. So he's going to be training him and showing him about pre-crime and so forth, and basically what is happening. And this is true both in the short story and in the novel and in the movie as well. But pre-crime is a section of the police that is dedicated to finding out what crimes people are doing ahead of time, and then arresting them before they commit their crime. And that is done by 3 precogs that have visions of the future. And so when they have a vision of the future, that vision is recorded. And then that recording is then used to find out who the person is, what crime they were going to do. They'll be brought in by the pre-crime unit and then assigned, and then they'll be assigned a sanction based on their future crime is going to be. After pre-crime has been instituted, crime levels have dropped across the city and across other nearby areas too. Murders have been almost unheard of. There's only been 1 committed in the last 5 years. So and so forth. So you've had a huge drop in crime as a result of the institution of pre-crime, because knowing that as soon as you start to plan a crime, you're going to get caught, removes the ability. The previous crime and punishment system, the crime of being sent to jail, of those sorts of things, has clearly not been enough of a deterrent. But in this society, in this future society, pre-crime is enough of the deterrence. So it does keep it from becoming an issue, if you will, and then it will continue and so forth. At the end of the first, there are about 12 different parts of this short story. It's that long that it's broken up into like these little chapterettes that are a few pages long each. And near the end of the first one, you'll find out that our main character Anderton has been accused by the precogs of he's going to kill somebody that he's never even heard of before, called Denton. We'll find out who Denton is in the next chapter at the next section, and so forth. And you'll find out that he is a retired officer from the military, and so they'll meet and so forth. But you'll kind of get a chance to get really sort of invested in the storyline. This guy's going to he's going to believe that obviously this is a mistake. He believes he's being framed immediately. He's suspicious of his successor, of others in his life. Somebody had to have planted this. Somebody who's obviously close and to PreCrime unit. So he believes that he's being framed. Rather than believing that this is actually something that's going to authentically happen. And so this will be your traditional sort of a chase. It'll move into a chase and so forth. Now, there are a lot of beats that this one has in common with the movie, with Minority Report, the movie that stars Tom Cruise. So there are a lot of beats that it has in common, but they go in very, very different directions. The characters are different, the world's different, and so forth. So I would say that the movie is very, very loosely based on Minority Report. It is a very strong short story, and I much prefer its ending to the and to the ending that's in the movie. But having said that, I still like the movie. The movie's it's a great movie. It's a lot of fun, and so forth. And I do enjoy the movie a lot. It's a little grimdarkish at times. There's no like lighthearted moments to kind of deal with the grim darkness. It's like nobody's ever smiling in that movie ever, and so forth. It's a little dystopian, more so than I think the short story even is. And Phillip K Dick as a writer is not somebody who is like super into like having some nice moments within his story, right? But yet, nevertheless, I think that his short story actually is lighter than the movie that's based off of it. But that's it. I'll go ahead and leave you to it when it comes to the synopses. It's well written. It took me about an hour to read. I do like the things that he does with the characters. The world building that happens in it, I think is incredibly well done. I think that the ending makes a lot of sense from where you started the story. It's an ending that made sense, but I didn't see coming. But that made sense within the context of the story, which I appreciate. It wasn't just a random ending or something like that. So I do enjoy it. But there you are. There's Minority Report. I'll go ahead and leave you to it. Have you read Minority Report or anything else by Phillip K Dick or any of his other short stories? What did you think about it? What did you think about it compared to the movie? Did you like it as a short story or not? Or did you agree or disagree with anything that I talked about? Please feel encouraged to talk about it more. If you like this video, please feel free to hit that subscribe button. There's going to be so many more of these classics to follow. And finally, I just want to take some time to thank you for watching my video, because we all have so many things happening in our lives, right? So the fact you spent this time with me is incredibly humbling, and I really do appreciate that. So once again, thanks and have a great day.